It's not very often you travel 20 odd miles just to see an ant. However, these are no ordinary ants, at least not in Nottinghamshire. This is Lasius fuliginosus, and these workers are tending aphids on a goat sallow here at Netherfield. These are quite remarkable ants with a fascinating nest ecology. They're instantly recognisable. They're often called the jet black ant for obvious reasons. These are completely black, whereas Lasius niger, the common or garden black ant, aren't. These also have larger heads than Lasius niger, and the heads are heart-shaped when viewed from directly above. This is an extremely rare species in the county, and it is confined to just here at Netherfield, where a colony was found several years ago now. Out of the blue, a colony appeared, the first in Nottinghamshire for over 100 years. How they turned up here out of the blue in the manner that they did is quite surprising, and at the time extremely unexpected. What's extremely interesting about the discovery of this species here in Nottinghamshire again is that we now have a second colony, and these are members of that second colony. Although whether this is an individual colony, quite individual and separate from the known colony, which is right on the banks of the Trent here at Netherfield and about half a mile away as the crow flies, we don't know, because Lasius fuliginosus can have a number of colonies centred around one main colony, almost like satellite colonies, and I don't know the distance away that these colonies can be from the main colony. It may well be that this is a completely separate colony to the one half a mile away. There are hundreds, if not thousands, of Lasius fuliginosus workers tending aphids on at least 2 goat sallows here, and I have found the nest. The nest is just a couple of yards from me at the base of this particular sallow. One of the interesting aspects of the nest ecology of Lasius fuliginosus is that the nests are formed, they are cotton nests typically, formed at the base of trees, sometimes in the ground, sometimes under stones, but more often than not at the base of trees. The workers form large columns as they go up into the trees to forage, and much of that foraging is based on farming. And I'm at the base of the sallow now, and there is a large column of worker ants going to and from a nest which is at the bottom. What is even more exciting is that there are 2 species of ants here, indicating that this is a new nest, and I'll tell you why in a second. Well, this is the trail leading to and from the nest which the ants are using. I'll leave this recording a bit because there are some Lasius fuliginosus workers, and you're going to see a different ant in a minute because some are descending down the trunk. There's one, and some more are now appearing at the top of the screen, and they're workers of Lasius umbratus. They will be the original colony that was here, because Lasius fuliginosus queens take over the colonies of Lasius umbratus, which as far as I'm aware, is an incredibly rare ant in Nottinghamshire. I've not seen it before, and I didn't expect Lassus umbratus to be above ground. Lassus umbratus typically nest in this kind of habitat or situation, and as you can see, Lassus umbratus workers are coming up and ascending the tree. There's obviously a lot of Lassus umbratus, so I suspect that this is a relatively new nest, but I am very surprised to see so many umbratus workers here in with larger numbers of Fuliginosus. Eventually the colony will become all Fuliginosus, as the Fuliginosus queen produces more eggs and more workers, and the umbratus workers that are coexisting with Fuliginosus now gradually die off with age. But we've got some more traffic coming down the trail now. The gasters of these ants going downwards are full of aphid honeydew. It's quite a busy trackway, the ant equivalent to the M1. And of course the ants, although being different species, share the same colony scent. There must be more colonies of Fuliginosus here at Netherfield, and possibly in close areas like Stoke Bardolph or Colic, where this ant occurs. There's no doubt about that. To see a few ants might not seem worthwhile travelling 20 odd miles, but believe you me, it is. This is a very rare sight and a quite unique sight in Nottinghamshire. More workers come down with more food for the colony. I'd never expected to get the two species. I was going to look for signs of umbratus. It is quite an overgrown part of Netherfield Lagoons, so tracking this ant down wouldn't have been easy. I knew where the location of this nest was, but there was no report of umbratus being here as well. As you can see, lots and lots of Lassus umbratus. Well, it's been nice to revisit Netherfield. It used to be a regular calling in spot in my old former life as a bird watcher. Very different place it is now. I've twitched many a rare bird here. Never thought I would be twitching an ant. A second time at doing that, actually. Came down here as soon as news broke of the original founding colony of Lassus fuliginosus, which I have looked for, but I couldn't find any sign of. But Peter Smith, who put us onto this second colony of fuliginosus, informs me that the other colony is still present. And I think there are more colonies of Lassus fuliginosus here in this part of Nottinghamshire, and I'd certainly look around the Colic Park area, maybe even Stoke Bardolph and Burton Joyce. But I think there may be another one or two colonies tucked away here. But it was nice and easy to find fuliginosus, and finding Lassus umbratus, well, that was a complete surprise, an unexpected surprise. And the footage that I've got today and some of the photos will be the first ever photos and footage taken of Lassus umbratus in Nottinghamshire. I have had a quick look at the status, looking on the website at the Ants of Nottinghamshire, and it seems there are no recent records. It seems that Carr in his 1916 book The Invertebrate Fauna of Nottinghamshire mentions Lassus umbratus, but it's not been seen in the county since. If it has been seen, it's not been reported, but Nobody's looking for ants really in Nottinghamshire. So a nice thing to record. And nice to get 2 ants for the price of the one.